All right, two big stories to report. Right now, the U.S. targeting a third oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela after seizing a second over the weekend, disrupting about $8 billion worth of illegal trade. President Trump accused Maduro's illegal regime of stealing U.S. assets to finance criminal activity. Fox News contributor, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo joins us now. Mr. Secretary, the Coast Guard springing into action. We know what the drones or F-16s have been doing to the drug boats. How else can we turn up the pressure on this corrupt lunatic?
Good morning, Brian. Look, several tools still available to us. What they're doing on the seas makes the most sense. That's the right course of action. This is the third ship, it sounds like, but don't forget how many ships just aren't traveling because it's too risky. So you don't have to get them all. You just have to convince them all not to sail with this crude oil to destroy the Venezuelan economy and make Maduro go away. The Cubans continue to guard Maduro. That's been a longstanding practice. We shouldn't forget Cuba. The economy in Cuba also is very brittle. And so the combination of tool sets, right? At sea, we could close the airspace over Venezuela, make it very difficult for anybody to get in or out with anything. Those are the kind of things that take all the foreign exchange dollars away from Maduro, which is what's been propping him and the Cubans up for so many years.
What's our responsibility if Maduro hopefully goes soon? Let's say he goes next week. What's America's responsibility then?
Well, look, it'll be the Venezuelan people's responsibility, but there's many things we can do to support them. Most importantly, we can help rebuild what's been a disastrous set of policies about their economy that's destroyed their capacity to thrive, which is their oil sector. So American companies can come in and sell their products. Schlumberger, Halliburton, Chevron, all our big energy companies can go down to Venezuela, build out an economic capitalist model, which will restore Venezuela to what it was. Brian, you and I remember, it was a great economy for so long, and this knucklehead has destroyed it.
Right. And the good news is the ripple effect of having the fall of Cuba right after is likely to happen, and they're already suffering because we're depriving them of their renegade oil. Let's talk about why Prime Minister Netanyahu wants to go to Mar-a-Lago and talk to President Trump. Reportedly, the NBC News and other outlets are reporting that they believe Iran is expanding its ballistic nuclear program, rebuilding its nuclear program again, reconstituting it, and they want permission to take it out. Should we give them that permission if that indeed is the ask?
Of course we should. And frankly, they're going to do it if it's necessary. The Israelis are going to do the necessary for themselves. Brian, none of us should be surprised that Islamist theocrats in Tehran haven't changed their stripes. This is who they are. It's embedded in their DNA. In the same way Hamas is not going to go peacefully give up its weapons, the regime in Iran isn't going to give up its desire to build out a nuclear weapons program. Yeah, if they're rebuilding, we should do the necessary, go take it out. We're capable of doing that. We can't let them rebuild their air defenses. That would make it more difficult to achieve that mission. So time will be critical in making sure the air defense systems in Iran aren't capable of taking down Western aircraft. If we do that, we should continue to go after their program every time they try to rebuild it.
Mr. Secretary, you always say, play out what happens next. It's not just about Iran. Already, because of Iran's weakness, Iraq's beginning to free itself from the grip of Iran's militias inside Iraq. They've had election after election, but they can only go so far because of Iran's influence. How will that help?
Absolutely the case that Iranian money was sponsoring the militias, the Shia militias in Iraq, that had done so much harm to the people of Iraq and had destabilized that place, frankly, since the Gulf Wars. We need to get this right. We need to help the Iraqis build out a political infrastructure, and it won't just be there. You've seen the hard work in Syria. You see the Lebanese people trying to rise up and get it right. The opportunity for prosperity and peace in the region is real. We just need to make sure we don't think we're done and stay after this. If we get it right, really good things can happen. And that's really about putting America first. If we get the stability in the Middle East, it's great for the United States.
I watched Senator Rand Paul over the weekend say, I wish President Trump would just pull our troops out of Syria. This way we wouldn't have any casualties. What's your reaction to that as we fought and achieved retribution over the weekend?
There's always been this strain of thought that says if we just go away and go back in our cubbyhole, then life will be good. The truth is the risk of more casualties, more risk is greater if we don't do the necessary and deter our adversaries. We have to stay vigilant. We don't have to be everywhere and always. We're not the world's policemen, but make no mistake about it. A little bit of forethought, a little bit of deterrence will save lots of American lives.
A lot going into this holiday, a lot on the docket for the president and his policies. These are the things that have to be addressed, and he's doing it all at once. Mr. Secretary, thanks so much. Have a fantastic Christmas.
Thank you, Brian. Merry Christmas to you as well.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.